Welcome to Lincoln County Connects Online, your source for the latest news in our Lincoln County, Tennessee school system. I'm your host, Jason Parks, and I'm excited to be here with two very special people today. Our Principal of the Year, Jennifer Turpin from South Lincoln School, and our Supervisor of the Year, Brad Luna, the Supervisor of Technology for the Lincoln County School System. Now, Brad, we were joking before the video that this is the year of the technology team and the technology staff. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about your background, what you did before you were in the position you are today?
Sure. So before I was in this position, I actually graduated Lincoln County High School and attended Jeff Drake Strait Technical College and earned a certificate in machine tool technology. I was a machinist prior to starting this role, and was a CNC programmer. Not my favorite job in the world, and Dr. Tom Young invited me to come over and apply for to be a computer technician with Fayetteville City Schools several years ago. And Billy Joe Evans scared me to death. He said, "We'll try you for 90 days and I'll fire you if you don't do a good job." But after that, we never really looked back. I hired in as a technician, and I believe it was somewhere around 2001 or 2002. Dr. Young stepped down and retired and become part-time, and I became the technology coordinator at Fayetteville City. In 2011, I came over here to Lincoln County as their systems administrator and worked under Dr. Terry Sue Fanning, who was a great technology lead here for Lincoln County. Changed the direction, I think, for technology here in Lincoln County several years ago, and then she moved into a different role, and I took over as a technology coordinator, supervisor at that time, and I've been here since 2012 doing that. So
awesome. Now, I know this is a loaded question, but how has COVID changed your job this year?
Wow. So, you would think it would have changed our job a lot, but thanks to a lot of prior planning, it's really set us up to be ready for this year. I'm very proud of what our technology department had to pull off this year, but we're very fortunate where a lot of school systems did not have adequate devices for every kid. We had a device already in hand for every kid,
wow,
grades 1 through 12. Now, we had a major shift of those devices stayed at school. They didn't go home in the K-8s. And there were several times we had no idea exactly how we were going to make that happen. The plan would change just about every day, sometimes multiple times a day, especially when it first hit. So it's just really managing that at-home piece. There's a lot more breakage. I've got a really good crew that comes around and tries to keep everything running. We try to replace our technology every 3 years. 1,800 of those devices should have been replaced this year. We ordered it in May. We actually just got those devices in this week.
Oh, excellent.
So we had to extend the life of these devices, and batteries, everybody knows batteries wear out over time. So just trying to keep everything up and running and trying to get everybody prepared. Unfortunately, Lincoln County has a lot of rural areas that just don't have the internet coverage.
Yeah.
That's a real struggle, trying to get kids to be able to work offline. It's just not ideal, and that's been one of the biggest challenges, trying to help parents figure out how to do that, get the parents to work offline. We actually installed wireless outside the building so that parents would be able to pull up if they needed to and get access to the internet on the Chromebooks when the students really needed it. Don't know how many parents are taking advantage of that.
They are, Brad.
But we wanted that out there in each community because you don't want to have to drive all the way into town to get something.
Right.
We can have it at the community level. So that's really been our biggest challenges, but we already had the devices. It's just a matter of execution and changing plans on the fly every day, just about there for a while.
Now, I think a lot of our viewers, when they think of technology, they may simply think of computers. But a technology department and a school system is so much more than that. So can you give our viewers an idea of maybe something that they wouldn't necessarily think of that y'all deal with on a daily basis?
Oh man, so it involves everything from the securing of the buildings. We manage the security entrances, how you badge in and get into the front doors. We have to manage all of our phone systems. When this pandemic hit, we still had to have IEP meetings for some of our special need kids, and all of a sudden we had to do that virtually.
Wow.
So all of a sudden we had to come up with conference bridges to be able to get everybody to call in and be able to do some of those services. Of course, the internet's a big, huge piece of it. Just trying to keep all the wireless up. We've got wireless in every classroom that we have to keep up and running. And if it plugs into the wall, it becomes technology's problem at that point. So you can imagine anything that plugs into the wall, we have to be able to assist with, and it's just really, it's wide ranging. For our industry, what we do with technology, most of the time they have one person dedicated to just being able to do security on your firewalls, or somebody to be able to go around and support desktops. With education, we don't have that luxury. We have to be a master of all trades, and that's really difficult for to run a small department. We have 5 people in our department. We're supporting around 6,000 devices, plus miles of network cables, around 350 access points, keeping the schools all up, phone systems all up, security cameras, secure doors. It's a big job for a small department to keep up with.
Well, what would you say then over your career, what would be a highlight or maybe your greatest accomplishment since you've been here in this role?
I think it really comes back to executing the plans that have been in place, started 10 years ago when we came in, I guess in 2012. We started our first one-to-one student devices at Lincoln County High School, started out with iPads, and we saw that need that students, to get equity, we really needed to get a device for every kid. And Dr. Fanning started that process, and ever since then, the school board has supported us. The administrations, Dr. Shelton and Dr. Heath, have both continued to support us. And when this hit, we actually had a device for every kid 1 through 12. I think that is, for a small rural school district in Tennessee, to be able to pull that off and be ready to go, I think that's probably one of our biggest accomplishments.
That's incredible.